Hey, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome back. Okay, this is part two of what the number four health condition that is impacting you in society today. Okay, so in part one, I discussed already the first step was that non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is the number four health condition that's impacting you today. Okay, and what happens is when fat, sugar, toxins, and waste build up inside the liver, it causes this condition, which is known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Okay. Point number two that I made was that the liver is the number one detoxification organ in your body. It produces bile, which is very important for digestion, but also waste removal. It regulates your blood sugar and is the main factory for the human biology. It's what tells every single process that goes in your body from digestion and on how your body is supposed to use the nutrients, the minerals that it absorbs through digestion, okay, and other processes that happens also that it's involved in. Okay, my point number three was what causes this condition. Okay, there's one thing that causes non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It is metabolism dysfunction, and that is not just what you're told about metabolism, which you explained is how quickly you can digest food, but that's just one component of metabolism. Metabolism is every function that happens in your body where there's a chemical reaction that takes place. Okay, so when you eat food, your body uses that food as energy. Your cells also use what you absorb to create energy, but also there's waste that's created in the process. So metabolism is eating, using that food for energy, your cells using energy, but also producing toxins, waste, and byproducts, and all that stuff is collected and then eliminated. Okay, so there's literally hundreds of trillions of processes and functions that involve metabolism. It's not just digestion. Okay, so now we're going to go into point number four. Okay, so you're going to see me go back to my outline again. I'm going to try and take my time to not make this too technical so it's not an issue. Okay, so my point number four of what the number four health condition that is impacting you in society today. Okay, and I'm going to go back into you're at risk of developing non-alcoholic fatty liver disease if you're eating more calories than you burn, have excess fat around your abdomen, if you lack physical activity, if you suffer from high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, if you suffer from chronic stress, if you have hormonal imbalances, if you're sleep deprived, and if you drink alcohol. Okay, those risk factors make you the number one candidate to develop this condition if you already haven't developed it. Okay, so now I'm going to go into how it happens. Okay, so point number four is how it happens. Okay, so part one of point number four is that you're eating too much sugar and fat in your diet. As you eat all that sugar and fat in your diet, it causes you to become obese. Okay, and signs of obesity are when you start developing a gut. Okay, that pot belly. If you're a woman, you have a little extra fluff in your midsection area. That's obese. That's a sign of that obesity is developing. Okay, as you develop obesity, it creates a chemical reaction that now makes you on track to develop non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Okay, how step two of how it happens is all that sugar and fat that you're ingesting now gets stuck in your bloodstream. It causes your blood to become toxic. And as your blood becomes toxic, it affects and throws off the detox and elimination process, especially your kidney and your liver. Okay? That toxic blood now starts damaging and slowly starts messing with your metabolism. Okay? And that is the number two step of how it happens. Okay, number three, now as that sugar and fat builds up in your bloodstream, you know what's going to happen. You're going to start developing markers of being type 2 diabetic. If you're pre-diabetic, you're diabetic. Don't let anyone lie to you about that. There's no way of managing it. You have to reverse it, okay? So as sugar and fat builds up in your body, it triggers your liver to tell your pancreas to produce insulin. The insulin goes into your bloodstream, and the cells cannot use the insulin to burn up all that fat and sugar that is currently in your bloodstream, because the fat that is in your bloodstream is blocking your cells and preventing them from burning up and using the sugar and fat for energy. Okay? As that happens, you become insulin resistant, which is type 2 diabetes. Okay? But what's very dangerous about developing type 2 diabetes is what happens with the fat and sugar that keeps staying in your bloodstream. Okay? Your liver does not want that blood and that fat and sugar to stay in your bloodstream. So it starts storing it into your liver. And as it stayed there longer, that sugar turns into fat. As that fat continues to build up, it changes the chemical balance in your body, and it changes from regular fat, that is the good fat or the not so bad fat, to visceral fat. Okay? Visceral fat is extremely dangerous to the human biology, because visceral fat is an active type of fat that changes your body chemically. Okay? It changes how your body uses your hormones. It changes how your body uses sugar and fat. And it changes a lot of other chemical reactions that is just too much to go into this for this video. But for the purpose of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, visceral fat is extremely dangerous because it creates a vicious loop in your body where now blood is keeping sugar and fat in your bloodstream for too long, and it creates a problem. The more and the longer that happens, it creates additional visceral fat, which continues growing inside your liver, and it starts spilling out into other areas in your body. Okay? Your gut starts storing visceral fat. Your liver starts storing visceral fat. The visceral fat goes outside your liver and starts engulfing your liver. It also engulfs your heart, your stomach, and other areas, other major organs in your body. Okay? This visceral fat also causes cardiovascular issues because now it's causing deposits to start building inside of your arteries. Okay, so I'm going to try my best to break down what's happening to you in a sequence. You're eating all this fat and sugar. It goes into your bloodstream. Your liver tells your pancreas to produce insulin. The insulin goes into your bloodstream, but because you have too much fat in your bloodstream, it blocks the cells from using and burning up the sugar that's happening. That sugar and fat gets stored into your liver, and as more sugar stays in your blood, it builds up inside your liver to the point where now the liver has to store that sugar, which eventually turns into fat. More sugar keeps on getting stored. It converts to fat that is turned into visceral fat, which is extremely dangerous to the body. The visceral fat now creates a nasty loop where your body just keeps on storing sugar for no absolute reason because it cannot use it, because insulin is being blocked and preventing your cells from using it. Okay? As that builds up, all that toxin that's supposed to be removed from your body, all that toxin and waste that's supposed to be removed from your body, all those parasites, all those pharmaceutical byproducts, all that toxin that you're taking in on the food, all the chemicals you're taking in from the food, from the environment, from what you're drinking, keeps on building up inside your body and damaging your liver amongst other organs. As that keeps on happening, it destroys your liver over time. Your liver starts developing what's called fibrosis, which is scar tissue starts building up in your liver. Okay? As that continues, your liver becomes a toxic environment where now it just is failing. It's falling apart. It's become diseased. Okay? It starts rotting. As that happens, your liver literally becomes inflamed and it starts producing juices and dumps that juice into your abdomen, which is why people who start having a gut that just feels very hard and like fluid is built up in there, that's where that's from. That's a very dangerous and later stage of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. All right, so that's the process. You want to be very mindful of that. Okay, fatty liver disease though is not just for people who are obese. If you're very lean and you're skinny fat, but you have the same diet as someone who clearly looks obese and overweight, you're gonna have the same outcome. Fatty liver disease is not just for fat and obese people. Okay, so if you're thin and you're eating the same diet, which is very high in fat and sugar, you don't exercise, okay, you drink alcohol, okay, all those things are going to start affecting your body, and you will develop non-fatty alcoholic disease as well. Okay, now point number 5, can this be fixed? Yes, it can be fixed, but it's one of the hardest conditions to reverse, because most people don't even realize that they have this until it's later stage. Okay, now the first thing you have to stop doing, you have to stop eating all animal products. All right, stop eating meat, stop eating dairy, stop eating fermented meats, like cured meats, sausages, salamis, and those kind of things. Stop eating them. All that protein that you're eating is toxic to the body. Okay, the body's not designed to consume animal protein. It destroys the liver and kidneys over time. Your body literally produces urine and ammonia as a byproduct of eating too much animal protein. Okay, as that happens, it damages and destroys your liver. So stop eating animal protein. Number 2 thing that you should stop doing is do not consume alcohol in no amount. There's no such thing as moderation. Okay, you're doing this, it's going to be bad, it's going to destroy your body. So no alcohol. Number 3, stop eating overly processed foods. All this canned, packaged food that you're eating is terrible for your body. It's high in sugar, it's high in fat, it's high in processed sugars and chemicals. Okay, that is designed to make it have a long shelf life. Guess what? All that long shelf life stays in your body, especially in your liver, if your liver is becoming damaged. All right, what should you be doing? Okay, you should be eating 80 to 100% of raw living foods, which is minimally processed raw fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, and fermented raw foods. All right, what happens when you start eating that way? It supports the human biology. It supports your liver to start regenerating itself. Like I said earlier, the liver is one of the few organs in the body that can completely regenerate itself if the body is under the right conditions. All right. How does raw living foods play a role in the liver regenerating itself? It's very hydrating. Okay. As your body becomes more hydrated, your kidneys start functioning the way they're supposed to, which takes some of the detoxification load off of your liver. That stress calms your liver down and allows it to start regenerating itself. Raw living food is very high in fiber. That fiber sweeps your GI tract and helps you not be as constipated, which is one of the main dysfunctions of metabolism, is constipation. Okay, as your GI tract gets swept and it becomes clean, you can eliminate more and get some of that toxic load out of your body. It has high natural sugars, none of that processed sugar stuff. Okay, our body is designed to be fueled by carbs. The number one and best source of carbs are fruits. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't eat fruits. That's a lie. Okay, the body knows exactly what to do when you start giving it fruits. But one of the main reasons is because the fruit is pure natural sugar, which is exactly what your body needs. Okay, what else do you need? You need to eat a lot of greens and a lot of raw nuts and seeds. Okay, you do that because those are the number one source of protein that your body needs naturally. Okay, your body breaks down protein into amino acids, and when you eat raw living foods, raw nuts and seeds, it naturally just breaks it down much more easier than it would if you were eating meat and animal products. As you break down that protein, it allows your liver to start regenerating itself. But you also focus on eating greens and raw nuts and seeds because of the benefits that they give you in macronutrients and micronutrients, especially micronutrients. Okay, you get a lot of minerals and vitamins when you eat that way. You get potassium, magnesium, zinc, selenium, the whole complex of B vitamins. Okay, iron, copper. You also, if you eat the root vegetables like ginger, turmeric, beets, carrots, okay, those are all things that are supportive of the detoxification process, which help your liver regenerate itself. Okay, but even cooler is as you eat raw living foods, it's alkalizing to your body. What that means, it lowers the acidic load that's been happening from your lifestyle and all that animal protein that you're eating, and from your lack of activity. Okay, as your acid levels get reduced, your body naturally become more alkalizing, which is where health and life thrives. Okay, if you're acidic, you're dying. If you're more alkalized, you're living and thriving. Okay, the liver functions as an interconnected and vital organ to maintain your health and well-being. And I just went to I covered the last 2 points with you. Okay, so the first one was how it happens, and I explained the 3 steps that causes this non-alcoholic fatty liver disease to happen. The first one is obesity. The second one is blood toxicity from too much fat and too much sugar. And the third one is that you become type 2 diabetic, which causes your body to start producing visceral fat, which changes your body chemically and how your hormones work. Okay, and because you're stuck in that nasty loop, your liver gets destroyed over time because now it's forced to start storing sugar, which then turns into fat, which turns into more visceral fat, which destroys your organs in your body. Okay, as I spoke with people, I just could not understand that they did not know this, and I didn't know it either, but I had to go study and research that the main component of the body to maintain the health is detox and elimination. And if your liver is destroyed, that process pretty much does not take place and you're dying. Okay, there's no other way to put it. You're dying. And what you need to do, you need to focus on maintaining your liver, keeping it clean and strong so it can function. And if you need additional support, I do private coaching sessions with people. I have a group membership that I offer where I help people on a group and individual basis. I created a space where people can be seen, where they can be heard, where they can be supported through the process of recovering their health and reclaiming their health and vitality. So if you want to know exactly how to regenerate your body out of the big 4, what I recommend you do is you look in the video description and you download that PDF. Okay, that PDF has the big 4 outline in there: diabetes, cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, and liver disease. And I go over exactly how you can start reversing the underlying conditions that's causing that. Join my membership so you can get further help and support and be guided through the process of recovering and reclaiming your health and vitality. I hope this information serves you, and I hope to see you soon. I love you.